It's always fun to get some new soap making equipment and try a new method. And so today I'm going to be using a cylindrical mold that I got from Essential Depot and a pull tool that I got from Belinda Williams at Love Your Suds. And she, as far as I understand it, is the developer or inventor of the Kaleidoscope Pull-Swirl. That's what I'm going to be trying today. There are other people who have done very nice examples of this that have videos on YouTube, including Tree Marie Soapworks and Amy Warden. They both have nice videos on that. I'll put links to them as well as to Belinda Williams' website in the description down below. But that's going to be the plan for today, to make a kaleidoscope swirl. Most of the videos I've seen using this method use a condiment bottle to which they add an extra long stem with a piece of a disposable pipette. On the other hand, the method I'm going to try is to actually put a funnel in the top with the stem of the stirring device going through the middle of that, and hopefully that will allow me to put soap right near the center and the bottom as it falls in. Realizing that the funnel may shift back and forth just from touching it, I have put some tape on the sides just to kind of hold it in place, and hopefully that'll keep it aligned. I'm probably going to have to pull the funnel out when the mold gets close to being full, because the soap will start touching the bottom of the funnel, but I'll try to watch for that. This is the recipe that I plan to use. It is one that I've done before, and it tends to be quite slow moving. So 20% coconut, 50% lard, 10% beef tallow, 20% sunflower oil, which is high oleic. That'll give a reasonably hard soap, but it should also be very slow moving. I am going to put some sugar in it, as I usually do, just to improve sudsiness. I'm also going to use some sodium lactate to make it even a bit harder, as well as easier to get out of the mold. I'm going to try for a teaspoon per pound of oil, and of course in this recipe, 31 ounces, I'm using a little less than 2 pounds of oil, and that's why I wrote there less than 2 teaspoons of sodium lactate. I'm going to use Nature's Garden Freesia fragrance oil, which I like a lot. It's a very nice fragrance, and it does not accelerate at all. I'm going to do pastel colors, so yellow, light green, blue, and pink. You can see on the right there, bottom right, the micas I'm using, all from Nurture Soap. And so this will be a 31-ounce recipe. Since this is the first time I've actually used this mold, I'm not sure that's the right amount of soap. I think it's at least enough. If there's some extra, I'll have to put that out into some other mold just to use it up. But I didn't want to make too little the first time around. My oils are at 98 degrees Fahrenheit. My lye water is at just about 110 Fahrenheit. So slightly warm, but not bad. And this should be quite a slow-moving recipe, I'm hoping. As with the last several videos I made, I'm just going to do hand whisking, which should also protect the soap from tracing too fast. I have dispersed the mica colors in a little bit of the high oleic sunflower oil. It's part of the actual recipe amount, so I've not increased the total amount of oil being used at all. I think these are ready now for distribution. As is true of a lot of yellow micas, this is one that color morphs when you first add the lye to become kind of a bright orange color. That'll go back to being pale yellow when the soap hardens, but for right now it looks like I've got bright orange. So I'm trying to stir up the oil-based mica sludge from the bottom and then get it thoroughly mixed in. The green also, some greens will change. They tend to become more of almost an olive drab, and then they go back to being bright green later. That's also a very common thing when the lye first goes on them. My soap is at a nice light trace at the moment. Since I turned the camera off, I've stirred it quite a lot more, and I'm suspecting that a key to success in this method is probably going to be to have just the right thickness. If it's too thin, it's going to mix when it hits at the bottom. If it's too thick, it's not going to pour well. So we'll try this and see what happens. As I said, I've got the handle or the stem of the pull tool coming up through the funnel. I'm going to try to hold that right in the center as I pour, and hopefully the soap will follow that down to the bottom. Move that camera so you can see what's actually going in the funnel. There's not much to see there, but you might as well see how it's moving down in. Well, my tape has come loose on my funnel, so it's wiggling. I hope that won't hurt anything. The handle seems to be staying in the middle pretty neatly. I think it's actually stuck there with the somewhat thickened soap at this point. And this is getting thicker, so I think I need to get it poured pretty quickly. Kind of cool how it oozes down through there. Kind of fascinating to watch. Very soon going to be too thick to pour, so I'm hurrying here. I'm just about to the bottom of the funnel too with the pouring height here. So I'm going to take the funnel out. And I'll just try to pour the rest right down the center of that stem. I thought I might not have enough with this recipe when I was halfway there, but it looks like it's going to be just about right. Okay, now the fun part of pulling the tool up out of there. Just going to pull it straight up very slowly. And that's that. I'll put the lid on it. I am lucky enough in this laboratory where I work to have a drying oven that will actually let me CPOP this at a cooler temperature than a home kitchen oven would. As you probably know, with a silicone mold, if you do it at the full 77 Celsius, which is 170 Fahrenheit, you'll often get little bubbles against the mold surface. So I'm going to do these at 55 degrees Celsius. And at the moment, I don't remember what that is in Fahrenheit, but you could convert that. So we'll have a look at this tomorrow. It is the next day, and I'm going to try to unmold this. I've had it in the refrigerator a little while just to cool it down, and I've never tried to take anything out of one of these molds, so I'm going to follow the directions by Jan at Merry Little Bath Company. I will post a link to her video in the description below. But what she does is, because it has these ribs on the sides, she kind of bends it against those until she can feel the soap crack loose from the sides of the mold. Oh, I can see it happening right there. Yeah, I don't know if you could see that, but it obviously came loose when I did that. And then I've got jars of clays that I use for soap making. I'm going to use that as a pusher. Well, maybe that didn't come loose the whole way yet on all sides. Let's see what happens here. See it, but it's got a crack there. Oh yeah, that's moving a little bit. It's very slow at first. I'm pressing pretty hard here, but it is definitely coming loose. There's 2 clay jars worth. Makes a beautifully shiny side. Looks like it's been polished. Oh, now it's getting easy. There we go. So that's the finished column. Let me see if I can slice that with a cheese slicer. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Here are the sliced bars of soap. They seem to be pretty variable in the distribution of color. I thought I was using very small amounts of each pour in order to get all 4 colors into each bar. Obviously that didn't happen very well, but I think it's an interesting pattern anyway. It's probably my favorite one right there, the middle one.